Hello, and welcome back to Our Little Path. My name is Amanda. If you are new here, today I am going to be sharing with you my 5 tips on how to carve out some time for yourself / find some rest. Because as a busy homeschooling mom with your kids home probably the majority of the day, it is hard to find those moments. So I'm going to tell you the 5 ways that I like to find some time for myself and how I can cultivate that rest time in our family. Before we begin today, I would ask that if you have not subscribed, please go ahead and hit that button below. If you also hit the bell, you'll be notified every time that I post new content here on YouTube. I would love for you to join me. Also, if you're on social media besides YouTube, I am regularly active on my stories in Instagram. So if you open up the description box below, you can also find my Instagram handle and you can connect with me there as well. All right, let's tune in to how to find some rest in our. So when I started homeschooling full time, I'm on my 3rd year now, so 2 years ago, I had 3 kids and it was busy and it was tiring, and they're home all the time, which is great. I love it. I would not ask for it to be any other way, but it's also really hard to find time for yourself. And so, like I said in the intro, today we're going to be talking about how to carve out that time for yourself to cultivate some rest in your day. Because overall, if mom has, I think, in my opinion, if mom has some time for herself to either rest, grow spiritually, or honestly just to zone out, because sometimes that's what we need, I think overall the house will be a happier home. Before I jump in, we are like no lighting today. It has been raining nonstop here in Arizona, which is like so rare, but also like really cool. I swear it rains in Arizona and everyone's like, get me a mug of something warm so I can watch the rain outside. And that's totally what I've been doing. It's been great. But also like the humidity is killing my hair. I don't know what you people do in humid states, because I haven't lived in a humid state in almost 10 years and I don't remember what to do with my hair. I curled it today and you can't even tell. So it's an interesting experience right now, which is also why I'm in my living room, because we have like a lot of good natural lighting in our house. Hence why I usually film over by my kitchen table. But today this is the best lighting I could get. So here we are. But anyways, that was my little side note about my current happenings in my life. But it's been on my heart a lot. I think especially because we're starting back to school, and our like kind of month off of school was really nice. And it was, I had more time to myself just by the nature of it. I wasn't, teaching school all day. But, as we kind of get back in the swing of things, you kind of start to get that like little fear of yourself of like, oh, it's going to be busy. Like we've got school, we've still got house things to clean, still just got errands, family appointments, things like that. And so just kind of like you feel back in the grind of things, especially I think as the fall comes in as well. So, in an effort to hopefully share some tips on how to maybe prevent that burnout that moms can experience, whether it's burnout in your household chores, burnout in your homeschooling, burnout and just being tired around your kids. I'm going to share 5 tips that I attempt to do. I'm not great at them. I will be the first person to say like I am tired a lot, and I often can feel overworked, but if I stick to this routine, this often is what makes me feel like I'm rested, I'm peaceful, I'm centered with God, and then I can go and bring that rest and that peace and the faith to my children and be a good model for them. So I'll just jump right into it. The first thing that I suggest is to figure out what time works for you and cultivate that time either in the morning before your children wake up or in the evening after they go to bed. And being able to have that time to yourself, whether it's in the morning or the evening. For me, I am a morning person. My husband and I go to bed fairly early. We don't stay up very late. I don't do well if I stay up late. So for us, I cultivate that time that I need in the morning, kind of before my day starts. My kids wake up very early as well, so that means I'm up at 4:45 most days, which to some people is probably like, oh, no big deal, and to other people they're like, Amanda, you are insane. And I am a little bit, but it's what I need. I get up, I wake up, I work out, and then I have some time to either do some Bible studies, to pray, to read, hopefully before the kids wake up. One of them usually is up by 5:30, but that's my middle, and he's old enough that I can send him back to his bed to either go back to bed or play quietly in his room. My youngest is usually up around 6:15, and then my oldest has actually miraculously this year been sleeping until she's been sleeping until about 7, and then she stays in her room till about 7:30 because she's kind of grumpy when she wakes up in the morning. So she's kind of helped train her to say, hang out in your room for a little bit before you come out and unleash the bear on all of us. So that's been helping. But so she's usually not out till about 7:30, which is insane because she used to be my 5 a.m. wake up until probably the last 6 months or so. So it's been really nice. I think, as she's getting older, her body's needing more sleep. I don't know why I didn't need it when she was younger, but I'll take it now. So I would say if you can cultivate that time, whether it's in the morning or the night, for your prayer, for just doing things that are your hobbies, that I think, or working out, is absolutely necessary. For me, I need to have a workout in and have that prayer time in the morning before I can go and be a functioning mom for my children. And if I don't get that in, it's usually a rougher day for me. And I wish that it wasn't like that. I wish I could just wake up, and if I missed my workout or my prayer time, I could just continue on with my day. But fortunately, I'm just not quite there yet. Need to pray for that grace more, I think. On the lines of carving out specific time, we do a family quiet time, which if you guys have watched my other videos, you know that this is when I'm usually filming, was during our daily quiet time. We have a daily quiet time usually between 1 to 2 p.m. And this is something that I've worked on the kids for the quiet time since probably Isabella was at least 4 years old. So Lewis has kind of always known a quiet time, and usually my youngest one, it's when they sleep during their nap time. So when Bella was younger and it was just them two, Bella would have a quiet time during Lewis's nap. And then now it's just progressed to it's quiet time during Ben's nap. Now they don't stay in there the whole nap time, they just stay in for an hour. They are in their rooms, they are allowed to read, they are allowed to play quietly, nap if they want to, and sometimes they fall asleep. Sometimes, most of the time now that they're both older, they don't fall asleep. But even last year, Lou would still sometimes fall asleep in quiet time. I'd find him sprawled out on the floor. But that quiet time in the middle of the day gives me an opportunity to refocus, not feel so overwhelmed, but I can complete tasks that are easier to complete when the kids aren't around. So usually I try not to clean during that time because it's supposed to be a little bit of a rest for me too. So usually I'm reading or filming videos now, or before that, I would be working on sewing or any type of hobby that's really just kind of for me. So maybe I'll get into how to implement a quiet time video soon, but I cannot recommend a quiet time. And even if you start with 20 minutes, if your kids have never had a quiet time, you haven't really practiced it in your family, just start with 20 minutes, because sometimes 20 minutes is all you need just to kind of like everybody refocus, because like, let's be honest, our kids aren't always happy playing with each other. Sometimes they need a reset, and having that reset can kind of help the flow of your day go a little bit better. So yeah, I cannot stress a quiet time enough. So we do an hour in our family. It may look different for your family, but definitely a quiet time is like what refreshes my brain for the rest of the day to get things done. So for number 3 would be to have some form of a consistent prayer routine. And this is one that I am like usually failing at and always working on. I try to have my prayer time in the morning when I wake up before the kids. And I have been trying to implement more prayer throughout the day. And for me, this is kind of how I've been trying to involve the kids with it as well. So we've been trying to add in like a chaplet, Divine Mercy chaplet in the afternoons. And this is kind of also my number 4, is involving your kids in your activities. So besides my personal prayer in the morning and at night, I've been trying to involve the kids in that prayer time in the afternoon, because not only one, you know, it's getting them involved in their prayer life and helping strengthen their prayer life, but it's also kind of like a reset time. You know, you take that time to pray with your kids in the middle of the day, then you know, I think everyone tends to have like a little bit of a better attitude. Maybe not necessarily before when you're telling them to stop playing and come sit down and pray, but afterwards, I feel like everyone has a little bit of a better attitude afterwards. And just kind of taking the focus off of ourselves and putting it onto God and our family unit. So 3 and 4, 3 is prayer, 4 is involving your kids. And another way for involving your kids is get out. Cat knocked over my video, like every video I do. So, I got fur all over my mouth now. Great. Okay, so, for number 4, I would say is to get outside with your kids, not just send them in the backyard and you do stuff in the house, which oftentimes can be really good too. But even if it's just 20 minutes of going outside and reading a book while they play in the backyard, or playing with them in the backyard, or going out to the front, or going on the walk, spending that time outside for me when I'm having like a rough day and I'm, you know, getting inside my head and getting really frustrated really easily, getting outside and even just spending 20 minutes always makes me feel better, even if I don't want to, because there's a lot of times I'm like, I don't want to go outside. I just want to send them in the backyard to be done and out of my hair. If I don't know what it is, getting outside, breathing the fresh air. I have cat fur on my face and that's why I keep picking. I'm so sorry. But getting outside and having that vitamin D and that fresh air really helps to bring back the peace in my heart and my mind so that I can continue on with my day. And the last one is probably not controversial, but could be controversial, and that is social media. And that is oftentimes when I notice I'm short-tempered or I feel like I'm getting nothing done in the day, if I go back and think about how much I've been on my phone, because it is a struggle for me, I know that social media is a struggle for me, because it's just so easy to scroll through, and there is a lot of good stuff on there. I feel like I'm fairly connected, you know, with good Catholic resources and things like that, and friends. And my main thing is Instagram. I don't necessarily care so much about Facebook. And YouTube I'm on a lot anyways. I don't really consider YouTube isn't something that I will go and scroll through during the day. It's kind of in the morning and at night. But Instagram for me, and maybe it's something else. Maybe it's Twitter for somebody else, or Facebook. But I have found that if I log off of my social media in the either before I go to bed, so I'm already logged off in the morning, or when I wake up in the morning, I log off before I start doing anything. and keep myself logged off until maybe the evening or quiet time, or whenever I've given myself that time to sit and be on social media, my day goes so much better and I get so much more done. And that's like, I think if you're on social media, everyone kind of knows like it is a time suck, it is a time waste, and maybe sometimes even an energy drain and a mind drain. But it's hard to log off. It's hard to be on there. So I have been taking to logging off completely for the day. I know some people will go on, a couple days or a couple weeks or whatever of just being off. I did social media off of Lent this year, and that was really good, where I was only checking like on Sundays, and that was really nice. And I think that helped me kind of find a balance of like, okay, I can not be on it, for a couple days and not really miss it. And I don't feel that pull as much now since Lent, but when I find myself feel like I'm getting sucked in, then logging off really helps. So I would really encourage you to either take a day off of social media or log off until a certain time in your day. You will find you have so much more time to get things done around the house, to not be distracted while you're homeschooling your kids, because sometimes that can be. And I think you're just able to connect better with your kids through the day as well. So those are my 5 ways that I utilize finding some quiet in my day, some peace in my day, some time for myself to reset, recenter, and be able to focus on my family a little bit better and on myself. So I hope that they were helpful. I know there's like nothing crazy new and enlightening, but maybe sharing some of my perspective helped you, to help maybe motivate you to find that time. Because I think as moms, we often push ourselves to the back of the line and we don't always have that time. But it doesn't have to be an hour. It doesn't have to, be this grand thing, but taking small chunks of time, whether it's 10 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes throughout the day, to kind of make yourself the priority for a little bit, definitely will help combat that feeling of overwhelm, that feeling of being drained, especially as we move into the school season and we are a lot busier. So let me know what type of resources or tricks that you utilize to keep your motivation going, to allow yourself that rest time as well, in the comments below. I hope that you guys have a great day. Remember to take a breath. You got this, moms. Stay strong.